Hola todos, ¿cómo están? Soy Erika y bienvenidos a una otra lección conmigo. Hi everyone, my name is Erica and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a professional Spanish teacher who uploads video lessons on YouTube. So if you're wanting to learn the language, you should definitely check out my channel. For today's video, I'll be teaching you about how to speak more like a native Spanish speaker. So if you've learned Spanish only in the classroom and haven't yet had the opportunity to talk to native Spanish speakers or go to a Hispanic country, you might have a very basic textbook time in Spanish. And when the time comes for you to talk to a native speaker or to travel to these countries, there might be a bit of a disconnect. And, it could also just be very obvious that you've only learned Spanish from a textbook. So, the purpose of today's video is to take some of the most common phrases that you may have learned and give you different ways of saying them so that you speak more of a spoken Spanish, let's say. So, if you like this video, please let me know. I'm thinking of making a series out of this. And let's get started. Make sure to subscribe. All right, so the first thing I'm going to teach you about is the simple phrase me gusta. Now, there's a variety of ways to say me gusta, but I want to go over just some of them and maybe give you a bit of a lesson that you might not have learned in the classroom. So, me gusta means I like. So, the thing is, you can say me gusta with anything like me gustan gatos, me gusta comer, whatever, and it means you like it. But if you're saying it to do with a person and you say, por ejemplo, me gusta Carlos, it would mean more like I'm romantically interested and I want to pursue Carlos. So you can't really say me gusta with a person unless that's what you mean. Instead, if you just want to say that you like someone and you get along with them, it's better to say me cae bien. Okay? So, me cae bien Carlos, or if I don't like him. Now, if you don't like him, you can say no me gusta, but you can also say me cae mal. Okay? Now, me cae bien literally translates to it falls good with me, or mal, it falls bad with me. But that's the literal expression. Idiomatically, it means I get along with them, I like them. Okay? You can also say me llevo bien. Okay? So instead of saying me gusta, if it's a friendly way, use one of these guys. Okay, now with things. So you probably learned this in the classroom. Me encanta. I know I had to learn that one. So me encanta, you use it the same as me gusta, and you conjugate these two the same. So you would say me encantan for something plural, me apasionan for something plural again. Or if it's just the A, it's something singular. So me encanta is like you really love someone, or sorry, something. So I could say me encanta comer. Me encantan los gatos. Me encantan los perros. For example, okay? So I love it. I really like it. Me apasiona is I'm really passionate about it. So I could say me apasiona el español. Me apasiona el arte, por ejemplo, okay? So these are just some other ways to say you really like something instead of just saying the basic me gusta. All right, let's get to the next one. This one's going to be super interesting. No me importa, which is I don't care. Now, you probably wouldn't say this in a professional setting, but this one, there's a lot of culture that comes along with it. And so I really like this saying, no me importa. Okay? So if you look at this, I have a little bit of like a language ladder. We've got on the top things that are less aggressive, and on the bottom things that are more aggressive. So don't say these ones to your boss. Okay, the first one, another way to say I don't care, me da igual. This one is like it's equal to me, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, me da igual. Me da lo mismo is the same for me. So yeah, it's like not really that aggressive. You can say it, depends on your tone, right? Now, this one, if you say ni me va ni me viene, it's like it doesn't ni me va, like it doesn't go for me, nor does it come for me. It's like I really don't care. So it's like a little more aggressive. The last one, me importa un pepino, is it matters to me a cucumber, which essentially is like it doesn't even matter to me at all. And it's the most aggressive one out of this list, okay? And if you learn Spanish, there's 1,000 words you can use to replace pepino, but pepino means cucumber, and I thought it was a funny one to teach you guys today. So here we have other ways of saying no me importa, and I challenge you to use some of them in the right situation. Those are super funny. Okay, wow. If you're like me, and when someone shows you something cool, no matter in what language, I always default to wow, because I feel like it's universal, but I shouldn't. I should be speaking more like this, right? Like I should be using the language. So here I have different ways of saying like something's cool. So if someone shows you something and you want to make an exclamation, you can use any of these, okay? All right. So when it has the kit in front of it, you're saying like how cool. Without the kit, you're just making that exclamation and you're just saying cool. So for example, que chévere is how cool. Chévere is like wow. Okay. All right. So we got que chévere, which is used, I know, like in Ecuador and in that part of Latin America. I think they use que chévere. Que padre, which literally translates to how dad or how father. That's used in Mexico. But again, que padre, how cool. Padre is like, wow. Que guay, I know they use that in Spain. Again, how cool. Que chulo, this one I love because all my students in Spain always use this. Que chulo is, again, how cool. So these are all just different ways of making those exclamations, saying something's cool. And these ones are great because it shows that you, if you know these, you know a little bit more of like those cultural sayings behind it, okay? All right, now on to filler words. I already made a video on this, but these are some new ones. Different ways of saying so that you don't ruin your Spanish by making those English interjections like the filler words, and you sound a lot more fluent because you're able to think and make these these sounds in Spanish. Okay, the first one I have is fíjate, which is like look. So I would be like fíjate que, and I would think, and then I'd say what I want to say after, okay? We have digo, which is I mean. So you would use it to say I mean. O sea is that is. So it's just to clarify, kind of. Supongo que is I suppose. Now, if you look at all of these, they're not necessarily filler words, but you can also use them as filler words. That's why I'm teaching them to you, okay? Imagínate que is imagine that. And so again, you could use like supongo que, imagínate que in like a more formal writing, but it's also could be used as a filler word. And the best one, the most common one I assume, is going to be and it's like, you know how we say it's you just make it Spanish, okay? And so we've got right there, all right? And those are some of your filler words for you. Now, I hope you liked this video. If you want more, please let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be sure to make those. And que tengan un buen día. Adiós todos.